Hello everyone, and welcome to the beginning of Part 3 of our series. In Part 2, we experienced the overwhelming mercy of God. Now we shift our focus to the way of the disciple. How do we react when we encounter something of ultimate value? We begin Part 3 with two of the shortest but most impactful stories, the parable of the hidden treasure and the parable of the pearl. Imagine finding something so precious that you are willing to exchange everything you own just to keep it. These twin parables are not about losing what we have. They are about the exhilaration of discovery. They teach us that finding the kingdom of heaven is like finding the ultimate goal of our lives, a discovery that makes any sacrifice seem small. Let's explore the language of value, seeking, and the joy of the great exchange. Section 1. The narrative of the great discovery. Let's listen to these parables from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 13, verses 44 through 46. Observe how both men act with immediate and total resolve. The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again, and then, in his joy, went and sold all he had and bought that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls. When he found one of great value, he went away and sold everything he had and bought it. Section 2. Vocabulary Deep Dive. Seeking and finding these stories highlight two different ways of encountering the truth. Let's look at the key vocabulary. First, the word merchant. A merchant is a professional trader. Unlike the first man, who was likely a laborer working in a field, the merchant was an expert, actively looking for fine pearls. This shows that the ultimate value can be found both by a sudden surprise and through a lifelong, intentional search. Second, the phrase, one of great value. In some translations, it is called a pearl of great price. This refers to an item so rare that its value surpasses the combined worth of many smaller, ordinary items. In English, we use value, not just for price, but for importance. Family time is of great value to me. Third, the verb squandered. Oh, wait! We learned that in the last chapter. Here, the verb is the opposite. Bought, to buy or acquire the treasure they had to sell everything. This, buying, isn't a business transaction with God. It represents the total commitment of our heart. Fourth, the word hidden. The treasure was hidden in a field. This suggests that the most profound truths aren't always shouting for attention. Sometimes, you have to dig through the ordinary soil of your daily duties to find the extraordinary grace beneath it. Finally, the phrase, in his joy. This is the most important part of the sentence. He didn't sell his belongings with a heavy heart or out of fear. He did it in his joy. When you find what your soul has always wanted, letting go of other things feels like a relief, not a loss. Section 3. Symbolic wisdom. Two paths, one joy. These parables complement each other by showing different spiritual journeys. Surprise versus search. The man in the field represents those who stumble upon faith or a great passion while just doing their job. The merchant represents those who have been searching through philosophies, books, and religions for years. God meets both kinds of people. The decisive moment. In both stories, the moment of discovery leads to immediate action. They didn't go home to think about it for weeks. When you recognize a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, the only logical response is to commit fully. Section 4. Advanced language pattern. So that, for result, to describe the extreme value of the discovery, we can use the so adjective, that result, structure. The treasure was so valuable that he sold everything to get it. The pearl was so beautiful that the merchant forgot all his other jewels. Her English improved so much that she could finally express her heart clearly. This pattern is very effective when you want to emphasize that an object's quality led to a significant, life-changing action. Section 5. Practical application. What is your treasure? How do we apply the hidden treasure and the pearl to our own lives and our English journey? First, keep your eyes open in the field. Don't despise your daily routine. The treasure of a new skill or a spiritual breakthrough is often hidden right in the middle of your current work. Dig a little deeper into your daily practice. Second, be an expert merchant. Learn to distinguish between what is good and what is great. There are many pearls of knowledge, but focus your energy on the ones that truly change your perspective and help you grow as a person. Third, check your joy meter. If your self-improvement feels like a burden, you might have forgotten the treasure you are after. Remember the joy of discovery. When you realize that English is the key to a wider world, the sacrifice of study time becomes a joyful exchange. Consolidation and review, deepening your understanding. Let's review the key phrases that describe the wisdom of choice. Treasure hidden in a field. Unexpected value found in the middle of ordinary life. A merchant looking for fine pearls. The intentional search for truth and excellence. One of great value. The ultimate priority that makes everything else secondary. One bespitalled all he had. The language of total commitment. It means giving up the Colin Vey good to gain the me sha best first. In his joy, the proper motivation for any change in life. We don't move toward God because we have to, but because it makes us truly happy. The great exchange. Trading our limited resources, time, money, comfort, for something eternal and priceless. Found it. The moment of encounter. Whether it's a spiritual awakening or a paja, eureka, moment in learning. Go and buy that field, taking the necessary practical steps to secure what you have discovered. Thank you for joining us for Chapter 11. Today we learned that the kingdom of heaven is a treasure worth every sacrifice, and finding it is the greatest joy a person can experience. Whether you found your burrow today or are still searching, remember that the discovery is worth the effort. If this lesson helped you refocus on your ultimate goals, please like and subscribe. In Chapter 12, we will explore the responsibility that comes with our treasures in the parable of the rich man and Lazarus. Until then, keep your heart open for the next discovery. Goodbye.